how to do it. Let me show you how to do it.
Okay, I'm having an issue. This thing is dead. So we're gonna find out why this is dead. This is not an issue with this, I know for a fact. So we'll go check it out why this thing is not working. So just to make sure that the problem is not with the thermostat, you can plug it out. There's a USB-C on the back that you can charge it and plug it back in, and it will tell you the power from your equipment to the thermostat may be off. So this is the USB connector. It's a micro USB. So you can connect it, charge it, and it tells me that there's no power coming to it. So meaning the 25 volt that is supposed to be getting to this is not coming here, meaning something is not right. So I'm meaning to find out the cause why this thing is dead. So we're gonna go to our air handler and try to troubleshoot. So first thing first, make sure your breaker is turned on and it's not tripped. I did reset it, that did not work. Sometimes it looks like it's not tripped, but sometimes it is tripped, so it's better to turn it off and then turn it back on just to make sure. I did not get any power, so that means my breaker is good. Now, here's the air handler. So the first thing we're gonna do is take out the front top cover. There's sometimes a breaker, sometimes a fuse thing that you can pull off. And mine is just a pull out thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out to kill the power. You can also turn the breaker off, the one that we just turned back on, or the reset, and then get the 4 screws out from there. This is the power line going to it, so be careful when you're working. Okay, so I have the front cover off, and what we're gonna be, so this is my pull thing. I already have it pulled out. I have my meter set up, and the very first thing you need to do is make sure you have voltage coming from here to this wire, and you can test your voltage, any of the black and yellow wire. So I followed it. There's a yellow rod right here, there's a black one on this one, and I checked it, and I do have 240 volts right or across here, so I know that I'm getting proper voltage from here. The second thing is checking this adapter right there. So this is kind of like a small transformer that converts 240 into 25 to 28 volt AC. Sometimes it's like 25 to 20 to 30, there's some range. So that black and brown wire eventually comes into this connector that is connected to the circuit board. And what I have here is I have my probes connected to those 2 wires. So basically what it is doing is converting that high voltage into low voltage AC. And since everything is good, I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. And there you go, 28.5. That tells me that my transformer is good. And remember, this is AC voltage, this is not DC, so make sure you're checking on AC. So that tells me that I do have power here, my transformer is working. So it could be something with this board that is not transferring power back to there. Sometimes these connections, they get flimsy as well, so before I do anything with the board, I'm going to try to retighten those connections. Sometimes they get corroded inside. So just make sure, take it apart and just clean it up and put it back everything to normal. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and pull this fuse off, put this on the side, and the power is dead. I'm going to plug this back in, the same board. Now you also may want to inspect the board, make sure there's no burn marks. In my case, there's no burn marks, there's nothing, everything looks pretty good. So again, I'm going to take this connector and just undo it and retighten everything. And then if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna while you're in there, you may want to check your capacitor as well. Normally capacitor does not cause that, but while I'm here, might as well just pull these 2, check the capacitance on this as well. And next will be this board if nothing works. So I think I narrowed down the problem. So if you notice, there's this wire that is connected right there and is going down, and then there's a float switch right there. So what happened, guys? Please don't fight. Oh, all right, I gotta take care of my kids. But real quick, so what I did was, with everything powered on, I checked the voltage right here to the ground, and I'm getting 28 volts. So that tells me that there is 28 volt coming over here, and this is the wire that is going to the thermostat, out there to the thermostat. Guys, please don't fight. Zed? No? Okay, let me talk to him. Let me talk to him and Daddy's done, okay? I'll talk to him. Okay, so 25 volt is coming over here. Normally, this wire is connected directly to this, and you have the 25 to 28 volt AC going to the thermostat, but there is a float switch in the middle, and this float switch goes over there, and seems like the float switch is disconnected because I do have power over here, but I don't have power here. That tells me that's, you know, the float switch is activated. Now, the reason I did not come to the float switch right off the bat is sometimes this float switch is connected differently, right? So you don't know what AC you're troubleshooting and what kind of setup this one has. In my case, this particular one is jumper through, you know, kind of like in series. So if it was in parallel, then you wouldn't have that issue, but you cannot have this connection in parallel. Since I have this in series, every time the float switch is activated, I kill the power going to the thermostat. And you know, so that's how it is. Now, the reason I did not come to this right off the bat is because this AC was off for a while, so it didn't trigger my mind that, hey, it could be a float switch because it hasn't been used. But you know, there could be many reasons. You know, the float switch could go bad, and things like that. So since we know it is the float switch, that's an easy fix. I'm gonna button everything up over here. I don't need to do anything, and I'm just gonna go and look at the float switch, which is here somewhere. So this is the float switch, and here's the issue. So these two wires are exposed, and seems like somebody put this thing over here, and those two wires were touching each other, shorting it out, and that's why it was happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap those off. Whoever did this job didn't do a good job, but now I have power coming to this, and we do have power back there. Okay, everything is buttoned up over here. I put electrical tape on the exposed connectors. Let's go inside and see if we have power. This was the micro USB, and you can see I charged it, so even if it's not connected, it shows please attach to the base. Let's go ahead and you have to aim it very carefully so you don't damage the pins, and just push it in. And seems like it did recognize it, and there you go. Now let's turn it on, and we should have AC. The outside unit is kicked in, and we have cold air coming in from our ducts. So yay, our AC is fixed. So it took me no more than 15-20 minutes to troubleshoot this. Again, this was a simple task. Only the float switch was triggered, so that's the first thing I'm going to look at. If you have a running AC that stopped working, you might have a full float switch, so that's where I would recommend check it first, because sometimes the AC tech, they connect your float switch with the power of the thermostat. So in case if there is water clogging your pipelines, it will turn off your AC by not providing power to this, which I think is an ingenious, you know, method of doing it. A lot of people don't do that. You know, some ACs, they do have separate connection for that particular float switch, and some tells you that, hey, it's a float switch, you know, so they do cut off the AC. But in this case, this is an older AC, and killing the power to your thermostat is probably the best way to make sure you don't have any kind of flooding in your house. So with that, you know, I think we fixed our AC and a simple troubleshooting method, but I showed you guys a little bit in detail so you can troubleshoot it in case if there is more issues beside that float switch, you know. So it could be your circuit board. You know, definitely start with your float switch, then move on to your thermostat. Make sure the thermostat is good, then go ahead and go in your air conditioning system. make sure you check for that transformer to make sure it is providing or is stepping down the voltage to 28 volt. And if you do have that 28 volt, then that tells you that something might be off in your circuitry or your connections to the wires coming to the thermostat. And that's all there is to it, guys. So hopefully this video helps you guys troubleshoot your AC. And guys, if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel and like the video.